Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in here for the Mustard Showdown, I'm going to call this. I like mustard on certain things. I'm not one of these maniacs who put mustard on everything, but I like mustard on a hot dog. I love mustard with a beautiful pretzel like I have right here. And we're going to have a little bit of a mustard showdown. I think I'm going to rate the mustards 1 through 5. We have 2 mustards that you probably won't be able to get, and 1 mustard you might be able to get, and then another 2 that you'll definitely be able to get. So here's the rundown. This is Fox Hollow Farms. If you've never had this is one that you're not going to be able to get probably. A friend of mine who goes to Vermont every year brings me back this mustard because I love it so much. It's a balsamic vinegar and fresh garlic mustard. It is delicious. It's got a little tang. It's a garlicky, and you notice it's a dark mustard. Look at how brown it is, right? So you can see it's dark from the balsamic vinegar. This is unbelievable. If you're near Fox Hollow Farms, I've never been there. But my friend brings me this back because I tell him every time he goes to Vermont, thank you, Tom Booth, for this mustard. Get me this mustard. It's that good. It goes on everything. So today we're going to put it on a nice pretzel that I just warmed up in the oven. The next mustard that you're probably not going to be able to find, unless you're in New Jersey like me, is from Pennings Farms. Now, every fall, me and my fiance take a trip up to Pennings Farms. You know, you do the whole pumpkin thing, you do the whole fall thing, pick your own pumpkin, pick your own apple, go to a winery. And Pennings Farms is not too far away. And they had something I saw this year, which I couldn't believe. It's called applesauce mustard. I'm sorry, it's apple cider mustard. Applesauce mustard is probably good too, though. This is apple cider mustard. Pennings Farms, like I said, is in Vernon, New Jersey, right next to Warwick, where all the pumpkin picking and apple picking and wineries are. So if you're in the area, stop by Pennings Farms. You won't be disappointed, not for the mustard, but for everything else they have. It's really, really classy. The third mustard we have is a gift from a great guy by the name of Andy Bove. This mustard is called rotisseau mustard. Pardon my French. It's a whole grain brown mustard. And if I get this close enough, you could see we probably have those big mustard seeds when I taste this. I have never had this mustard as of now. It's a product of France. I don't know where he got it, but I'm sure you could find it in a specialty store. Thank you, Andy. Classic mustard I got in Montreal. Malay. They have a store in New York City. Or is it Malay? Again, my French isn't great. It's a French mustard. They have a store in New York City for sure. They have a store in Montreal for sure. We'll try this mustard. This is going to be a Dijon champagne mustard. And then finally, you can find this anyway. I mean, they also have this. They won't pour it for you like they did in Montreal or New York City, but you can find this in grocery stores. This mustard is one of my favorites. As you can see, it's almost all gone. This is Mr. Mustard Hot Sweet Mustard. The Mr. Mustard you could find at any major chain shopping center, ShopRite, Acme, wherever you go. This is my go-to mustard. Anyway, let's try them out on this warmed up, which may not be so warm because I talk too much, this warmed up pretzel. First up, Mr. Mustard, here we go. yellowish. The camera's picking it up a little brighter yellow than it probably appears. It's a thick mustard. It's almost sticky, you would say. But here goes Mr. Mustard. Just got a kick. Definitely hot, but not overwhelming. And definitely has a sweetness to it. This mustard, in my opinion, would go great on anything. From a hot dog to a pretzel. Even maybe it's like a crust on a steak. Great mustard of 4.5, I would give it. This is a really good mustard. And this is a Dijon mustard. You'll see a Dijon mustard a lot of times in salad dressings. You'll rarely use it on a pretzel. You'll rarely use it on a hot dog. Most popular brand is Grey Poupon, as you probably remember those commercials from the 80s. Could you pass me the Grey Poupon? Every once in a while, you know, Dijon, this is a salty version of a Dijon. This is very salty. It's flavorful. You always sometimes get a little shot of Dijon up your nasal passage when you have it. Goes right up. This one, not so much. This was a smooth Dijon. I know I said you probably wouldn't use it on a pretzel, but I would use this on a pretzel. This is excellent. I'm rating it higher than the first one that I love best. This was just a great bite of a pretzel, people. The Male Dijon, I'm giving a 4.8. I can't believe that I just rated it higher than Mr. Mustard, which I thought was going to win. The Mr. Mustard Sweet Hot, that's my go-to, right? So, next up, Rotisseau mustard, another French mustard. This is a whole grain mustard. And like I said, you could see those whole grains in it. Let's give it a mix. I have never had this mustard. This was a gift from a good friend of mine, Andy Bove. There we go. This is a fine, high-end mustard, is how I would describe it. I'm going to give it another taste because it's the first time I'm having it. You can't really taste those whole grains like I thought you would. I thought it would be a crunchy or a bitey. So the whole grains actually kind of just like melt. You melt them. I'm calling them whole grains. They're probably really mustard seeds. They kind of just melt in your mouth. You can't really feel them. This is a high-end mustard. This would be good as a dipping sauce with a steak. This would be good as a crust on a chicken breast. This isn't good for a pretzel, but it's a flavorful mustard. It's not spicy. It's not sweet. It's a grainy mustard. I could taste. Don't mind me. I'm gonna have one more little taste. It's earthy. It's earthy. That's the way I'm going to finish that. It's an earthy mustard. Great as a crust, great as a dipping sauce. You wouldn't put it on a pretzel. I'm going to give it a 3.5. The last two. These are the two that are going to be tough to find depending on your geographic location. We have the Pennings Farms mustard from Vernon, New Jersey. A little north of me. You know, I'm in a more metropolitan area of New Jersey, so when we go visit the farm in the fall and do the fall thing, I always go to Pennings. And we have some apple cider mustard from Pennings. Let's give it a taste. I had this a few weeks ago on a hot dog, and it wasn't a hot dog mustard. It's loose, so as soon as you stir it, I don't know if you can see that, it's very loose. There's a lot of flavor. I don't know if it's good or bad. Almost, you don't taste apple, first off. It's an apple cider mustard. You taste zero apple. Soury, almost pickly. Again, I'm going to say a little earthy. I mean, you could tell this is not your normal run-of-the-mill mustard. This is not, you could tell it's gourmet. I thought this, when I had it on a hot dog a few weeks ago, I thought this was going to be great on a pretzel. It's not. So it's a mustard I would not probably buy again. Like I said, it's soury, pickly. Maybe on a Chicago dog, it'll taste better when you match it with a pickle. I give it a 2.5. I'm going to be honest with you. 2.5. My least favorite of the bunch so far. Finally, let's go with a tremendous mustard made in Vermont. It's Fox Hollow Farm, sorry. And it's one of my favorite, it's a go-to mustard of mine. It'd be next to Mr. Mustard, hot, sweet. This is another one I just go to all the time. It's great on everything. Let's give it a test. So, you'll see this one. Very, very dark color, deep color, almost looks like Nutella. It's sticky as could be, almost the consistency of a jam. It's balsamic and garlic flavored. Let's give it a taste. It's unbelievable. It's sweet. It's flavorful. It's spicy. It almost tastes fallish. like those fall spices, like cardamom, like cinnamon, cloves, hints of garlic. You taste the garlic, but it's unbelievably good. This would be my highest rated mustard in this competition. I'm gonna go a 5. I'll give it a perfect score. So the Fox Hill Farms in Vermont. Again, I've never been there. I'm a New Jersey guy. My friend Tom Booth goes up there once a year and always brings me back a mustard. Thank you again, Tom. This is the winner of the competition. Fox Hill Farms coming in first. The Malais Dijon coming in second. Mr. Mustard Sweet Hot coming in third, followed by our 2 losers in this competition. You know, each of these mustards have a place. They have their own spot. But for this competition, I'm going Fox Hill or I'm going with the Dijon. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope to see you soon. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while, but, you know, I've been a little busy. Here's the Mustard Showdown. Fox Hollow Farms winning it by a landslide. Great job. I shouldn't say by a landslide because this Dijon was pretty close and pretty good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Jefferson. See you soon.